Yeah, I came straight from school when I left school. But, you know, from sort of 12 years of age, I knew I was going to play football. I was just going to which club to go to. And a lot of lads from the North East, Geordie lads, were down here. And Jack Hickson, who was the one who brought me, and most of us really, I came to see my mum and dad, and I came down and had a look, and like I did at different other clubs, you know. And then, of course, I decided Burnley was for me. I came down when I was 15 from school in the northeast, and that was in 1962, and I left in 1968 to go to Carlisle. Played 5 games in the first team, and couldn't break through, like quite a few of the lads at that time, you know, because I had an extremely good team and a lot of very, very good players. Well, the team when I came was the cup final team, you know, the Blacklaw, Angus, Elder, Adamson, Cummins, Miller, Connolly, Jimmy Mack, Ray Pointer, Jimmy Robson, Gordon Harris. And outside of that, you know, we were carrying a staff of 50 then maybe. Never bought any players, brought players through. I think the first one I remember coming was Cass, Frank, the Saint Frank from Rotherham, and he was the first player, and that would be, I bet that was 66 or 7. So there was a lot of very, very good players. I mean, to give you some idea, the third team, we would had 5 teams then. First team reserves, A team, B team, and the C team, which was the Colts. So the A team in them days, Harry Thompson, Freddie Smith, right back, Mickey Buxton, left back, Brian O'Neill, right half, Dennis Compton, Willie Morgan, Andy Lockhead, Willie Irvin, Arthur Bellamy, Little Jackie Price. That was the third team. So that give you some idea. Ralphie Coates, Gordon Graham, Danny Hood, myself, Sammy Todd, we were in the B team, then we would get in the A team, then we might be back to the C team. George Bray was in charge of the reserves at that time. Billy Dougal, Mr. Benny and Harry Potts were the first team. And we'd get an odd game in the reserves. Played 3 on the bench, and you go and look at the team sheet on the Friday morning, which you used to go outside the first team dressing room, see where you were. Because all the games were played on Saturday then, not through in midweek or anything. And be playing in the reserves and played really well for George. Won 3 on the bench and go and look and you're in the 5th team the following Saturday. So that's how it was. There was a lot of very, very good players. Well, he was a brilliant coach and an extremely good manager. And as time went on, I was at Sunderland, and I went to Sunderland from Carlisle to play. Then my knee, I had an injury and I had to finish. And Bob Stark asked me would I be interested in going on the other side of the fence, the coaching side, which I was in, so that's what I'd done. And then when Bob left, Jimmy came in as the manager, so he stayed there for some time. So again, I learned a lot from him, you know, and his man management and his coaching and one thing and another. So definitely been a big influence on me. But there again, Bob Stogo was a big influence on me. Loads of them, too many to mention really. Just like a lot of good players, very, very good players. I don't really know. Obviously, I can remember playing at Burnley when we were coming through as kids, and we always had good games with Man U. And I remember Georgie Best playing at down at Gawthorpe because there was a lot of talk about him, and he played against us down there, and he was an exceptional talent. But I've got to say that we had very, very good players at Burnley as well. Alan Ashman came in, and we had an extremely good side at Carlisle as well. And we got promoted. We won promotion to the Premiership, what's called Premiership now. So that was in '74. and we had some good runs in the Cups, the FA Cup, semi-finals of the League Cups and things like that. So we had a very good side up there. For me it was a little more difficult because when I left Carlisle I went to Sunderland to play and I signed a 2-year contract at Sunderland, but I'd done my knee in. So after a year I went to see a guy called Professor Smiley in Dundee, and he said, knee shot, that's done, and you know, you can't, it's not possible. Now it's possible, I suppose, to have a restructure and one thing and that, but in those days it wasn't just like feasible. So I went from playing at Sunderland, from being a player and then being my pals, well, still my pals, but to being a coach there. So it's a different kind of thing, you know, when you've got lads that you play with all the time, then all of a sudden you go on the other side, which is completely different.